goes. In life we have givers, you with your beautiful, gorgeous shine, and then we have takers. So, what I'm trying to say, baby, is you gotta make discernment. Hi, my beautiful baby. Why are you so beautiful? Why are you so gorgeous? Why did God make you so amazingly kind and loving-hearted? I don't know. Sometimes you gotta wake up and ask yourself that. If you're going through a hard time or you feel like no one's coming through for you, or you feel betrayed because you're always giving, and then when you're having hard times or when you're going through a really pickle of a time in your beautiful life, it's like, where is everybody? It's like crickets. And it's like you do all the right things. You're always giving to people. You're always making birthday cakes for your friends, your best friends' kids. You're always showing up. You're always picking people up. You're always dropping them off. You're always lending your last $5 or $10 away just to help somebody. You're always giving. And you know what? That's a beautiful thing. That's a gorgeous, beautiful gift. But at the end of the day, sometimes it drains you. It drains you and it leaves you feeling super exhausted, and sometimes you don't even realize that you're getting to this point because you're such a loving, giving soul. It's definitely a part of your nature, and that's great. But a lot of the time in this world, we have to learn boundaries and we have to learn to say no to ourselves. That's a huge thing people don't talk about. Is it's not others that are doing it to us, it's us because we cannot say no. We do not know how to say no when people reach out. We don't know how to have boundaries. We don't know what boundaries are. We were never taught healthy boundaries. We were just taught, you gotta give. Even the old saying, how it goes, oh, he's so loving. Your dad was so loving, he'd give the shirt off his back. Yeah, well, a lot of the times that had us fucking struggling. How did we eat as kids? Like, it was great. It was full of love. We helped each other out. But a lot of times that it gets to the point sometimes of like toxic, because a lot of the times you're over giving and you're supposed to give to yourself. You're supposed to balance it out. You're supposed to have a healthy respect of balancing. You ain't supposed to be give to the point where you're exhausted and depressed at nighttime. The thing is, don't stop being this beautiful, gorgeous flower, this beautiful diamond in the rough. Don't stop being that beautiful person. The thing is just to have boundaries. Just not to feel guilt for shutting your phone off. Not for feeling guilt for saying no to extra shifts. Not for feeling guilt for saying, I can't do that today. I'm super busy. I need to sleep. Not release all guilt for saying, I can't lend you $40. I can't give you $60 today, okay? I'm running dry. You gotta release guilt for saying no and having these healthy boundaries. And like I said, a lot of the times, especially in First Nations communities, a lot of the times we are taught no boundaries whatsoever. We weren't taught healthy boundaries. We weren't taught to say no. We were just taught to say yes, to be nice. And it's like, don't be nice also, but be real. Because being nice will get you in a lot of situations that ain't so pleasant. Okay, so you gotta learn to make discernment. You gotta say no and release guilt. It's a practice. It takes practice. Like that's where the mirror work comes in, where you have to say that shit in the mirror and you literally have to practice it. You have to practice saying no. When someone comes to you, lend money, no. When somebody wants to borrow a bowl of sugar down the road, no. When somebody wants you to go pick them up at 11 p.m. at night, no. Of course your kids are different, right? Because, kids are going to be at their friend's house at 11 p.m. and they're little shitheads. And then they'll be like, Mama, come pick me up at 10 p.m. Oh, Mama, another hour. And then, you know what I mean? Go pick the fucking kids up. So what I'm saying is just, you have a beautiful, gorgeous heart. You are the chosen one. You are a beautiful flower inside and out. You bring the sunshine and the rainbows to everybody who loves and knows you. So it's just learning to say no without guilt. I'm not telling you to not be your beautiful, gorgeous, happy, gorgeous, hearted self, because the world knows that the strong are kind, the strong are loving, the strong are givers. It's just what I'm saying is to have boundaries around that and to sometimes take the day off from being the Mother Teresa of your town or city, or the Mother Teresa of your village, taking the day off and just having a salt bath. Go getting your nails done. But definitely do things to take the day off. Even Jesus on the seventh, even God on the seventh day took a day off, bitch. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is take a day off, feel guilt-free, tell the kids, okay, here's a ball, go play in the backyard for 12 hours, come back when the light goes off on the road. That's how you know. You know what I mean? So definitely learn when to tell folks no. Don't lend money. A lot of the times I always see my most beautiful relatives exhausted because people didn't pay them back, or people are never there for them when they need somebody. And it's just like, baby, because you give too much. Like, start giving more to yourself and start saying no, and start making self-care and self-love a part of your life. And also, you gotta have discernment. When it comes to people who are there, you are there for all the time in their hard times, because you have this big, beautiful healing aura, this big, beautiful healing heart, whether you know it or not, because you're a giver. Givers naturally have a beautiful, loving, giving heart. And you gotta have discernment, because what is this? This is going to attract a lot of takers. And in this world, we have a lot of takers. Some of these takers don't even realize that they are takers, okay? So, a lot of the times when you're starting on your self-love journey, when you're starting to say no to people, when you're not feeling guilty for saying no to people, because you don't want to give out your last money goose egg, you always have to have emergency goose egg, because you never know when your car is going to back out, when your car is going to break, when something crazy is going to happen in your family, you need money to go to the next town for a funeral, etc. These things happen. That's why you always have to have a goose egg emergency. A goose egg emergency in another savings bank account in another bank, so you know you won't touch it, and then you cut the debit card up so you know you're not shopping online, Cherish. No, but you really have to have discernment, because being, like I said, a beautiful, loving, giving heart, you're gonna have a lot of people who come into your life who use you for your light, who use you for your beautiful love, who use you a lot. And this is just how it goes. In life, we have givers, you, with your beautiful, gorgeous shine, and then we have takers. So, what I'm trying to say, babies, you gotta make discernment. In my own life, I have realized users, a lot of lawyer friends that I had, and I don't give a fuck what you do, okay? We all have a different hustle. We all have different gifts and talents. But I had some girlfriends, okay? And they always came to me for therapy and a shoulder to cry on. But when I wanted the same, when I needed them for the same thing, they were not picking the phone up. It's like, you gotta make discernment. I had to cut out a lot of friends because there was just no reciprocity. There was no equality. Like, when I needed that shoulder at that time, ghost, crickets, nobody was there. Y'all weren't there for me. You guys weren't there for me. Where were you when I needed you? And I was absolutely there when you needed me. And then when I needed you to come through in those hard times, you went ghost. So I have to go through a lot of, you have to literally go through inventory and start taking inventory of who's there for you, your ride or die, or who's not there for you. Even as a child, as a teenager, I've seen a lot of Judases in a lot of friends that I had. And I was so naive back in the day. And it takes a lot of discernment and just being by yourself and seeing, okay, what are the relationships that I want to value to have? What are the relationships that make me feel better? What are the relationships that when I leave them, I feel so rejuvenated and so re-energized, like I just visited a rainbow. Like I just visited a real human rainbow bright. You know what I mean? That is the kind of relationships you want to have. Of course, we go through hard times. Of course, people have debts in their families and people are sad and stuff. And that isn't a toxic person. That's just someone who's going through grief and loss or pain and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And sometimes they need a shoulder and stuff, and that's okay. We all go through hard times in this life. I'm talking about toxic people who are just constantly nagging, talking about super, you know, everything gossipy, negative energy, just victim conscience, just like that very low frequency victim, poor, woe is me, this person does this person, this neighbor, you know what I mean? That is what I'm talking about, that you want to start taking inventory to release from your life. Or when you're going through a hard time, they just totally ghost and disappear. That's not a friend. That's a shitty friend. That's a shitty person that's using you. They're using you for your light. So you need to cut them off. Life gets better when you cut users off, because there's a lot of them. Like I said, we have givers in this life, which is your beautiful, gorgeous auric field, your heart. You're just absolutely this beautiful person who deserves the world, and I love you. And then you have takers who just know how to take. And those are the ones I need you to get out of your life. And you'll realize as you do this, your life just gets way better. It just gets way better and way happier. And those boundaries that you start to build, you start to have more of like, you start to build courage, you start to build self-esteem, you start with healthy boundaries and learnings to say no, you can give more to yourself, and you start to realize self-worth, and you start to realize that you have a voice, and to speak up even if your voice shakes. We need to get comfortable having uncomfortable conversations, and really also take inventory when you do say no to people. How do they react? Are they like, oh, and then you can feel the bad medicine and bad juju upon you when you say no? Or do they just unconditionally love you and they say, okay, sister, I love you, talk to you later, and they just go on about their merry way? Really start keeping inventory about people who you say no to and who you don't say no to, and how their energy reacts, because everything's energy in this life, and yours is very high frequency because you resonate with God, which is love. And that's just how you are. You're just naturally love, little Care Bear walking around, so cute, and I just want to pinch your cheeks. So yeah, you got to really learn how to say no and to give to yourself. Like I said, don't feel guilty for shutting your phone off. I absolutely shut my phone off at 10 or 11. I do not pick it up during night times. I don't even understand people who sleep with their fucking cell phone on at nighttime. It just doesn't make sense to me, because then people are just gonna be calling you and stuff like that, and I don't want to be available, and I'm a grump. Everybody knows from my whole entire siblings growing up, do not wake me up. When I'm sleeping, fuck off. And that's it. That's it. All right, so definitely I love you. I'm always wondering, why are you so beautiful? Why are you so damn cute? You have a million ancestors who walk with you every single step of the way. You have warrior ancestors. You have beautiful God who's with your heart, because you're such a loving chosen one. And I love you. And I'll talk to you next time on Cherish Love Talks.
I've been waiting all night. Watch you blow a mile. Please don't come over.